November.
Okay. Hey Nate, what are you doing? What? Well, can't you see? I'm playing Need For Speed Payback. Poor bastard's got the worst case of MD I've ever seen. That's microtransaction disorder. This is what happens to people when they put microtransactions in every game. He spent all his money on trying to upgrade his car, and look at him now.
Hello everybody, it's me, Nate, aka Devil Dog, and I'm back with another game review. This time I'm reviewing Need For Speed Payback. It's the action racer developed by Ghost Games and published by Electronic Arts and will be released on November 10th of 2017 for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Microsoft Windows. And it is the 23rd installment in the Need For Speed franchise and focuses heavily on Tyler Morgan, the racer, Mac, the showman, and Jess, the wheelman, in the open world of Fortune Valley as they work together in over-the-top Fast and the Furious style sequences in the story mode to take down the evil cartel simply known as the House by getting revenge by winning this epic race known as the Outlaws Rush. Gameplay focuses on building and buying cars, or in upgrading them of course, with parts that you win in races or buy with money. Then you can use these cars in races, missions, and activities in single player and multiplayer. Most of the activities are known as speed lists, and the overall game consists of two different game modes. You have your single player action and multiplayer, and you earn rewards by driving certain ways like drifting, going fast, wrecking other cars, being a dick or being a good driver. And reputation, basically, as you earn, you get the points, is used to unlock different driving maneuvers with multipliers attached that are known as heaters. And each of the 3 playable characters in the single-player mode have different events and missions, and some of the bigger missions in the main story involve all 3 characters together. Generally, Tyler will do the main races, Jess normally transports VIPs and packages, and Mac does normally the drifting and the off-road segments. Now, each event allows you to switch vehicles before you start, and you can have an auto log recommendation, especially on the online mode, that will help you out by either telling like a friend or rival will give you recommendations, and also a performance rating that really will help you to let you know if your vehicle is up to snuff or if you actually will even stand a chance in the race or not. Now, when you beat an event, you'll get money, reputation, and speed cards. I'll get into them in a minute. And you can even make side bets before the race to make extra cash, and which is really cool, but it can actually bite you in the butt if you're not careful. Now, the single player mode also has street leagues, which are races against gangs that have their own disciplines, styles, and crew bosses that you'll have to defeat in order to get to the outlaw punishment event in the main story. Now, as I was saying, speed cards are kind of interesting. When you normally win a race, and at the end you'll get to pick a card from 3 that will pop up after the event, and you'll normally either get a performance part or a vanity item. Basically, it's very similar to the loot box problem that's been in every single game so far, which I'm not a big fan of. Also, there's these nice little things called shipments. shipments. Yes, aka loot boxes. Yes, the speed cards are cards that you normally get out of your loot boxes. Sounds familiar? Yeah, it is. They're basically reward containers that you get, or you can buy with real money, that gives you performance parts or vanity items. But I'll get into that at the end. But one of the bigger aspects of this game that returns that I am a fan favorite of is definitely the pursuit mode, which is basically a cop mode where they will try to stop you. So far I haven't noticed the ability to play as cops in this, I'm afraid, but the cops actually will try to stop you, and it harkens back to the classic games on PlayStation 2 where you actually can wreck the cops as they try to stop you with multiple different apprehension tactics, everything from spike strips, roadblocks, helicopters, and the higher your heat level gets, the more you piss them off. They'll even call in some heavy hitting vehicles to try to knock you off the road. And by far I find that the most fun and entertaining part of this game, and it also can happen online when you're playing the multiplayer as well. And the main thing about this game is the car's classes. Each car has its own class, and they consist of drag, drift, off-road, race, runner, and the derelict cars that you find throughout your adventure that you can build on your own can be customized to any class that you choose. So if you plan to do an off-road race, you will need a car that is in a class that is considered off-road. And you can actually, like I said, if you find these derelict cars throughout your adventure, you can actually build them to your own personal way and tweak them. Now, the main thing about every Need for Speed game, hands down, and it's back in this one, is the customization of your vehicles. Everything from aftermarket components, paint, vinyl wraps, performance parts. Each car has 6 main categories that can be upgraded multiple times, including the engine block, your transmission, exhaust, and so on. And there is a system known as TRS, or a targeted roll system, that is used to increase parts power more with the pretty much use of RNG and recycled parts that you can actually use that you collect throughout the game. Now, you can't have a good racing game without a good game world, and this one is known as Fortune Valley, and it is based off of Las Vegas and consists of 4 different areas consisting of the Silver Rock City area, Liberty Desert, the peaks of Mount Providence, and Silver Canyon. And throughout the game world is all kinds of different locations that are peppered throughout, including dealerships, which pretty much are like you figure. You're able to buy cars there, tune-up shops are around, and also garages that you can buy as well. And you can swap, customize, and build your cars there. Gas stations return, and they're pretty much used like a fast travel system. And if you drive through them, you also it acts as a way to refill your nitrous and also kind of fix the outside blemishes of your car. Now, the total activities in this game consist of Speed Trap, where you try to go as fast as possible past the camera to try to get 3 stars. Speed Run, which is similar to Speed Trap, but it's a multi-checkpoint race. Jump is just like what you think. It's a jump where you try to travel as far as you possibly can. Drift Zone consists of checkpoints where it's a drift rally race where drifting will get you more points to get you them stars. And there's billboards that are scattered throughout the game world that you smash through them. If you smash through them all, you get something special. And also throughout the game, you'll also find these collectible casino tokens known as chips. Now, so far there are roughly about over 400 different events you can actually do in this game. It consists of having a 24-hour day and night cycle that actually changes the activities based on if it's day or night. Everything from cop presence to traffic will be adjusted as well. Now, since this is a new game, it does actually feature PlayStation 4 Pro support and Xbox One X support. Now, each one will be different. Naturally, you'll get the checkerboard 4K for PS4 and some also enhancements with overall draw distance and graphics. And the Xbox One X, since I was not able to preview it, I can't really necessarily say, but judging from the fact that that system is a pretty decent powerhouse, I would have to say that it's probably going to pack a pretty good punch in terms of the graphic fidelity department. Now, like I said, it does have the main drag with this game is the offline single player. It does not require you to be online to play the offline single player, which people were worried about at the beginning. And fortunately, you do not have to be connected to the internet to actually play the single player mode, which is actually pretty damn fun and entertaining. Now, keep in mind this does come in multiple different versions of the game, including the regular version for the $60, or they have an $80 deluxe edition that comes with discounts, some DLC, and early access. But the main thing is that I got to get into, which I had to say at the very beginning, is there is a couple problems with this game. First of all, I have noticed it has really terrible load time, especially during load up or booting of the game. It literally, let's just say if you want to go and cook a burger or something, you'll have more than enough damn time to actually go and do that, because the load times at the beginning of loading up single player and also loading up the multiplayer are atrocious. And I'm playing this on a PlayStation 4 Pro, so I'd hate to see it on a regular PS4 or regular Xbox, because I'll tell you what, the load times are terrible. Now, once you get the main thing booted up and you're in the game levels, you're looking maybe a 20-second load time before a race, which that is actually not that bad, but the amount of time it takes to load is just friggin' terrible. And another thing I gotta say is I do like the control of the cars, but they do come off as being kind of like well, kind of weighty and chunky. I don't know if that was the best way to describe it, but they kind of hit really hard in terms of the way they handle. It will take a little bit of time to adjust to how they control, but all in all, this game is not meant to be realistic. It's meant to be a fun arcadey style racer where you're slamming into people, you're wrecking them, and doing stuff like that. Another thing I have to say that I really dislike about this game has to be the music. Other than a couple songs, most of this music sounds like shitty ass organ music, and a lot of the music is just god awful, and I cannot stand it. But that is not the main thing about this game. Boy, let me think. What's the main thing about this game? Well, let me explain.
Now, here's the thing about Need for Speed Payback. Okay, don't get me wrong, it's actually a really good game, but I've been having a problem with the games coming out here lately, and I've finally got to say something. I've warned people for years about this and nobody listened. The damn microtransactions. It's like anymore with a game, you pay $60 for the friggin' game, and in the end, what is it? It's nothing but microtransactions and loot boxes, and I'm a I totally believe that loot boxes are nothing more than online gambling. The only reason why they say it's not gambling is because you're actually guaranteed something every time, unlike real gambling where you can lose. And that's the only reason why these companies are getting away with this bull crap of putting loot boxes in every single damn game, because it's just like the way season passes were. I warned about this too. I always told people, you need to quit buying these stupid season passes. Well, Nathan, why not all the DLC? Here's an idea. Back in the good old days, you paid a full price for a game and you had all the game on the disc. Now what they're doing, they're charging you double, triple amounts for a damn game for season passes. And you know what? So many people kept buying the damn things, and guess what? Now you can't get any game without season passes. I don't mind DLC, but the season passes, they're not going anywhere because of people paying good money. Well, guess what's happened now? Now they're doing the same damn thing with loot boxes and friggin' microtransactions. It's because of people that keep paying money for these stupid ass microtransactions in these games, making them millions of dollars. And I don't want to hear the fact that these game companies say it costs too much money to make a game anymore. That's bullcrap. There's so many companies out there that bust their butt and make a great game, and they don't have to keep charging you extra money once you pay $60 for it. It just angers me so much. I get so tired of games that do that. It just irritates me so much with the microtransactions. Every dang time you buy a game and it's more money and more money and more money and more money, because people, you know what? No. I'm not gonna do this. I'm not dealing with it anymore. if it comes down to it, and you got to keep paying money for a game you've already played, and you already paid full price for, you know what I would rather do to it? I'd rather not play that dang game at all. That's right. I'm tired of microtransactions in games. They're destroying them. I'm tired of loot boxes in games. Stop it! Stop it, people! I don't care if it costs me money. I'll destroy the games all I want. And the only thing I'm going to say is what I'm going to say to you people out there. It will take all of us to stop them from doing this to our games. They are destroying our games with these damn microtransactions and loot boxes. Stand up! I'm not saying smash your game. I mean, that was a brand new game I just smashed. But oh well, I don't care. Because in the end, I always end my videos by saying, have fun, play hard, and remember, people, the devil is in the details. Peace out.